Hey you guys, it's September 14th and I am 100% sure my water just broke. I've been having contractions like every 5 to 6 minutes since 8 a.m. and then around 8:50 I ended up just sitting up because they were hurting as I was laying down. And as soon as I sat up, I felt like if I started to pee, and then I felt literally if you pop a balloon. And so I stood up because I was like, what the hell? To not pee on my own bed. And I stood up, and then I just felt like a gush of water just coming out. And it started going down my legs. So I ran to the bathroom, and I literally did a whole little track of water all the way to the bathroom. The first time my water didn't break. They ended up breaking at the hospital, but I honestly don't remember the feeling or at what point they broke it at the hospital. So this was new to me, and it's freaking hurting. The contractions are pretty every 5 minutes. So yeah, I already called my mom to pick up my son and my husband. I had literally just texted my husband maybe 10 minutes ago, and I was like, I've been having contractions since 8 a.m. and literally minutes later my water breaks. But yeah, I'm just waiting for them, and then we'll be heading to the hospital. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Hey guys, it is now about to be 8 p.m. I already had my baby girl. You can get a little sneak peek right there. So absolutely nothing went as planned. Long story short, and of course I will be doing a story time. We'll get into the story time after this clip, maybe, or towards the end of the video. But long story short, when I got to the hospital, I was 10 centimeters already. So it was honestly a crazy experience. I'm still in disbelief of how fast everything just happened. But yeah, I will be telling you guys the whole story soon. It's gonna be in the same video, but probably towards the end. So we are staying here overnight till tomorrow. Tomorrow baby girl gets her a couple of testings done, and from there we'll see if we get to go home or if we stay another night. I'm still trying to catch my breath sometimes. But anyways, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow, or unless there's an update, I will let you guys know. Good morning, you guys. It is the next day. It's currently 10:10 in the morning. I woke up from a nap, a 2-hour nap, I think. Feels like less though. I was not able to sleep during the night because literally from 12:30 and forward till 7, 8 a.m. Someone would just be coming in every 20 minutes. So it was really hard to sleep because I would be getting woken up. So then I just decided to stay up. But I think that today, it's so dark. I think that today we are going home so far I'm doing good, the baby's doing good. So they've asked me like a dozen times if I want to go home today, and excuse me. I mean, I'm saying like as long as we're both okay, I don't have a problem going home. So we'll see when I'm going home today or not. This is what one day postpartum looks like. The reality. Hey loves, so today I am 1 week and 3 days postpartum. It feels like it's been longer, but it's only been a week since I had baby girl. So as you guys just saw at the beginning of this video, nothing went planned as I thought it would, as I hoped it would. I did avoid not getting induced, so I love that I didn't have to get induced. But then I'm so sad that I wasn't able to like actually record my labor and delivery because everything just happened so fast. Literally, like, honestly, I barely even made it to the hospital because my husband was working like 40 minutes away from home, and the hospital is literally down the street from our home. So he was like stuck in traffic because it was pretty early in the morning. My dad got here like super quick because I called him to come pick up my son, and I remember that I was just like waiting and waiting for my son to like get home, that way he could take me to the hospital and like my dad could just go back home with Mateo. But then my husband ended up texting me that he was stuck in traffic, and I was like, okay, I can't wait. Like, something in me was like, no, you have to go now. And I'm glad I did. I ended up telling my dad, like, can you take me to the hospital because George is stuck in traffic. So yeah, my dad ended up taking me to the hospital because I just could not wait any longer. And now that I think about it and look back, I feel like if I would have stayed and waited for my husband, I would have probably had baby girl here at the house, which sounds so scary because I would probably be freaking out, like not knowing what to do. So yeah, so let me just start from the beginning. So on Thursday, September 14th, I was like super asleep. I was like half asleep, and I remember like the contractions obviously woke me up, but I was still like half asleep. And when the first contraction woke me up, I remember I grabbed my phone and looked at the time, just to time them. I was like, let me just time them, because you never know, right? And it was 8 a.m. exactly, like 8 a.m. And I just remember putting my phone back down and like trying to sleep. I was like, no, I don't think so, like, because I had been having contractions here and there, but they weren't close enough. And then I remember I was just super tired, you guys. So I was like super half asleep, and I just remember like being asleep and feeling contractions, and I remember that they felt so close. And I remember looking at my phone again, and it was like 8:30, 8:35, something like that. And I was like, okay, it's been 30 minutes and I've had contractions like pretty close, but I wasn't sure like how close. Because I was half asleep, you guys. So I just know that they were close enough, and they were never like that. Like the other days, they were never that close. It was like every 30 minutes or every hour that I would get a contraction. So to have contractions like pretty close, within 30 minutes, I was like, okay. And I remember that I was just like, maybe I'm just overthinking it, because the night before I had been jumping on a yoga ball to try to like get myself into labor and avoid induction.
that weekend. And but I was only on the yoga ball maybe for like 20 minutes. Like it wasn't even that long. um Anyways, so I just like try to go back to sleep, and then I was still having contractions. So I remember that it was just getting like super painful to the point where it was hurting to be laying down. So I was like, okay, let me just sit up and we'll try to like wake up because something's going on, right? Like I'm having contractions. And I remember that I sat up, and then I kind of felt like I peed myself, and it felt so weird because I've never peed myself. So I was like, okay, that was so weird because it felt like a lot of pee coming out. So since it felt like I was peeing myself, I was like, okay, let me get up because I don't want to get pee on my bed, you know? And as soon as and like right before I decided to get up, I felt like a pop in my belly. Like it felt so weird, especially because with Mateo, my water didn't break, and they broke it at the hospital, but I don't remember them breaking it. I don't remember how it felt. Like I don't even remember like at what point my water got broken in my first pregnancy. So for my water to break this time around, it just felt so weird. It was literally like a balloon, and like if you just like pop it with a needle, like that's how it felt. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just like the weirdest feeling. And I remember that like my belly just felt like a pop, and it felt like a balloon popped inside, literally. um and I was like, what the hell was that? And as soon as it popped, like I got up real quick because I felt like water just like gushing out of me. And as soon as I got up, like I kind of like froze. I was in like shock of like what was going on. And like I just looked down, and like I saw like water just like going down me, and like it just kept coming out. And I was like, oh my god. So like I ran to the bathroom, and like I even left like a puddle from my bedroom to the bathroom, because it was just so much water, you guys. And then I remember like I sat on the toilet, and like I put down my undies, and like water was still coming out as I was sitting in the bathroom. And like I wasn't even like trying to pee, like it just felt like just so much water coming out. And I was just sitting on the toilet for like a cool maybe 30 seconds, and I was just like, holy shit, like my water just broke. And I didn't even know like how to react. So yeah, I was on the toilet. I called my husband, and like I was trying not to panic, like because I don't want him to panic. And I just remember telling him like my water just broke. Like you need to come now. And then he was like, really? Like he was shook. Because again, like we were not expecting for my water to break, or yeah, for anything to happen like right away. Like I was honestly mentally preparing myself for the induction. um but anyways, I called him. I told him that he had to like come now. And then after I hanged up on my husband, I called my dad, and I was like, I have to go to the hospital, like can you come pick up Mateo? And my dad got here super quick. um so yeah, I remember that like I got up from the toilet, and I started like changing and like getting everything, like my hospital bag and everything. But it was taking me forever because I would get a contraction like every 3 minutes, and it hurt so bad, you guys. Like my lower back was in so much pain. So when I would try to do something, like it would hurt. Like I would need to like just like stand somewhere wherever I was, just like freeze and not move, and like deal with the pain, and then like keep on packing or whatever. And then oh, and as I was getting ready to leave, I kept getting like the sensation of like having to pee. But I think it was just like all the pressure that I was feeling down there that was making me want to go pee, because I would like go to the bathroom, but like nothing will come out. So yeah, let me tell you guys the time. It's just so much that I'm like just rambling, you guys. But okay, so my water broke at 8:55 a.m. So literally 55 minutes after my contractions started at 8 a.m. And then like as I was just saying, like I just kept getting the urge to like go pee, but it was just like the pressure down there. Like 5 minutes after, like 5 or 10 minutes after my water broke, I got the urge to go pee, but it wasn't pee, because when I wiped, my mucus plug came out. So when I realized that my mucus plug came out, I was like, oh my god, like shit's getting real, right? So yeah, I remember that I wiped and I saw my mucus plug. I took a picture of it. I don't know for what. I was like, just in case, or I don't know, right? Like I just want to take pictures like of everything that was going on. And then I just got up again and continued like getting ready. I went to go wake up my son to change him. Pobrecito, he was so tired. And yeah, my dad arrived super quick, and I was just there like waiting it out, still trying to get everything together, like for myself and for Mateo to take with him to my mom's house. And I remember that my husband texted me saying that he was like stuck in traffic, and I was like, you know what, like I'll meet you at the hospital. Like I just said that, I was like, meet me at the hospital. I was like, I cannot stay here. Like to myself, I was like, I cannot stay here any longer. Like I just need to go to the hospital like now. So I told my dad, I was like, can you take me to the hospital? And he took me. Like I said, it's down the street from our home, so it was like a 5-minute drive or less. And then we got to the hospital, and then my dad was like, he asked me if he wanted me to he asked me if I wanted him to take me to the 3rd floor. And I was like, oh no, it's okay, because he had Mateo out. Like I was like, just take Mateo, and like I think I'll be fine. But he's like, no, like he was just so worried as well. So he said that he was gonna take me up. He literally just left the car there. He didn't even park it. But as soon as I walked in, like, you know how there's always like people at the front, like there's like a reception like at the front of like Kaiser when you enter. And I walked in and I asked one of those workers, I was like, can I get a wheelchair? Contractions just got stronger and stronger when I got to the hospital. So I honestly didn't think I could like walk all the way to the elevator, and then from the elevator like to labor and delivery. So I asked the guy for a wheelchair, and he offered to take me to the 3rd floor, so my dad didn't have to take me. And tell me why the elevator was taking forever, like literally like 5 minutes. Like I'm not even playing. I was like just there. I wasn't screaming yet, but I was just like in pain. Like I was like in pain, girl. And the guy was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I'm trying to get you there as soon as possible. And I remember that I was like, it's okay, like just hurry. Like girl, I was dying of pain. My back was killing me. Anyways, we got to the 3rd floor, went to labor and delivery, and obviously you have to like check in right at the entrance and at the reception. And like they were checking me in, and like tell me why like I'm over here like in excruciating pain, and like the nurse or receptionist is just there like, where do you live? What's your name? What's your medical record number? Even though I had already called, or I forgot to tell you guys that. So yeah, when I was back at home, I did end up calling the labor and delivery to let them know that I was on the way. And like they ask you all these questions too. So I don't know why they have to ask me the questions again when you see me there like literally dying and like screaming. Because at this point I was like kind of screaming, not like crazy, but like I was like, oh my god, like I need to push. Like at that point when I got to the reception, I honestly felt like I had to push. Like I'm not even playing. Like I felt so much pressure down there that I had to push. Like I had to push now. So yeah, the nurse is over here taking her sweet time asking me all these questions when you already asked me on the phone, and like I know it was her because I recognized her voice. And she remembered talking to me because she said my name, like she knew my name. like when I got there, she didn't ask me for my name. She was like, Ruby, right? And I'm like, yeah. But anyways, I remember that I was just there, and like I had my head like this on the counter because I just like I couldn't sit back on the wheelchair because it hurt to be like on my back. The bottom of my back felt like it was like cracking in half, girl. So I had to be like sitting forward and handling those down contractions. And so yeah, when I was there, like I had my head down on the counter, and there was like a doctor that like walked up to the counter. I don't know for what, but I remember that he said, I was still looking down at the counter, and I remember him saying like, we're gonna help you right now, okay? But then like I didn't say anything because I didn't know who he was talking to since I was looking down. And then like a couple seconds later, I remember like looking up, and I saw him there, and he said that again. So he was talking to me, and I didn't say anything. I was just so like out of it at this point. Like I felt like I wasn't getting help, and like they were just seeing me there like in so much pain, you guys. But anyways, so yeah, after that, you know how, or maybe you guys don't know if you haven't had a baby, but when you get to the hospital, when you get to labor and delivery, they normally put you like in a small room first to like monitor you and the baby and like see how dilated you are. And then once you've dilated a lot is when they move you to like the actual room where you're gonna like deliver your baby. So that's what they were gonna do to me. So when I heard that, I was like, no, like I need to push now. Like I kind of raised my voice, I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, I need to push. And like I remember that like at that point I got a huge super bad contraction, and like and also at that point I ended up getting up from the wheelchair because it was hurting to sit down. I mean, it was still hurting in general, but like standing up and like moving my hips side to side was kind of helping, but not really. Anyways, once I said that, the receptionist looked at the doctor, and then she's like, what should we do? And I'm just thinking like what do you mean, like help me, like what do you mean, what should we do? And the doctor ended up saying like take her to room 1, which was already a labor and delivery room. And I remember like walking there, it was like the first door to the left, like as soon as you turn. So it wasn't like a long walk. And I remember like walking into the room, and like I start like taking off all my clothes, and like the nurse comes in and she starts like undressing me, or like helping me undress. And like I'm just in so much pain, you guys. Like I literally like just like drop everything. I throw my purse, I throw my phone, like I don't even know where. Like I just threw everything. They told me to sit on the bed, and like all these like nurses or doctors are just coming in, and they end up and since I'm saying that like I have to push, they end up seeing how dilated I am. So I remember like I get on the bed, I lay down, and a doctor comes, or he's already in the room, and like he checks to see how dilated I am. And like I'm just like, I remember I'm just looking up with my eyes closed and like just trying to deal with the pain, because my contractions are not going away. Like they are not going away. And at this point, and I remember that he's all like, oh, she's ready. And I remember like looking up, like lifting my chin, and I look at him, and I was like, what, like 10 centimeters? I'm 10 centimeters already? And he looks at me, he's like, and I was like so shook. I'm not even gonna lie, I was so shook. Like I was already 10 centimeters, you guys. I was ready to go. Like no wonder I kept saying I had to push. Like she was literally like right there trying to come out already, because I was fully dilated. And when he said that, like that was already 10 centimeters, I remember that I was like, so I can't get the epidural anymore? And he's like, nope, it's too late, like it's go time. And I was like, oh my God. And like I was thinking, like, at the back of my head, like, my husband's not gonna make it, the baby's gonna come out right now. And so obviously, like, all these nurses just start getting everything ready because baby can come out any moment. And even though I had to push, they kept telling me, like, don't push, don't push, just like hold on, hold on. And I'm just there like, girl, like, I have to push, like, I have to push. But of course I have to get everything ready. They had to put in my IV like super quick, and just everything has to be done, you know. So yeah, they're just still preparing everything to so I can start pushing. And I'm just there like in so much pain. I keep saying in so much pain because honestly, the fact that I had a baby girl with no medication, no epidural, no, literally an unmedicated delivery, still has me shook, because that hurt like a motherfucker. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, you guys, like, my grandma had 15 kids, like, back to back, no medications, no epidural, nothing, the old school way. And I'm just like, I can't, like, I cannot, I don't know, like, she was one strong baddie, because I don't know how she did that back to back, 15 kids, girl. Yo me estaba muriendo. Anyways, so yeah, after that, my midwife ends up coming in, and like, I'm so happy to see her because she just became like my midwife doctor, literally like 3 weeks before I went into labor. And she had been so helpful, and like, I feel really comfortable with her. And I didn't even know that she was gonna be there, or like, of course she's at work, but I didn't know that she was gonna be like at my labor and delivery. I don't even know if like she got called or I don't know what, but anyway, she was there, and she actually ended up delivering baby girl, which I'm so happy because she helped me a lot, and she was just super, she was a sweetheart. Like, she was the best. But anyways, my midwife got there, and like, she was talking to me, and she was even like, I'm so glad like that we didn't have to go through with the induction. And I was just there like, oh my God, like, me too, girl, but help me. So yeah, she got there, and then like what felt like forever, maybe like 20 minutes later, my husband arrived. And I remember telling, like, as soon as he came to my side, I remember telling him like, I'm already 10 centimeters. And he looked at me, and then like, what the fuck. And like, at that same time, the nurse was like, she's ready to push, and his face was like shook. He's like, what, like, already? And the nurse was like, yep. And like, I could tell that he was so nervous because he just walked in like he said, like, it was nothing like my first pregnancy, where, you know, it took hours and hours for me to have Mateo, compared to like getting to the hospital, you're fully dilated, let's push. So yeah, I'm glad that he was able to make it before baby girl was born. So yeah, once my husband got there, I think that's when I started pushing. And honestly, there was like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 to 5 nurses there with me. And one of them was just like, she was on my nerves, like, because there was a point where I kind of yelled, even though I knew that wasn't gonna help me at all. But like, I just had to let it out somehow, like, my pain. So I remember that I yelled, and she's all like, don't do that, that's not helping, like, in a bitch voice. And in my head, I was like, girl, like, I just wanted to cuss her out so bad, but obviously I wasn't gonna do that. In my head I did. But it's like, I know that's not gonna help me at all, but like I said, like, I just needed to let the pain out somehow. And I only screamed once. Besides at the reception, someone decided to make an appearance. Anyways, you guys, so as I was saying, I start pushing, and I push for about 30 minutes. I do start pushing sitting up, like in a squat position, because like I mentioned before, being on my back would hurt so bad. Like it felt like my back was literally like breaking in half. So they put this like bar on the bed where you can like hold on and like be in a squat position and push. And I pushed like that for maybe like 15 minutes, and then I started feeling really dizzy. So I did let them know, all the nurses, that I was feeling dizzy. So right away they tell me to sit back, and I was like, no, like it hurts to sit back. But they were like, you have to sit back because you're getting dizzy, so you need to like, we need to like calm you down by sitting you back. So slowly I end up sitting back, and I end up using the bar to like put my legs up or like push on the bar or whatever I want. I sit back, I continue pushing. It hurts a lot more to push sitting or like laying down than it did as in the squat position, but I continue pushing while laying down. I end up asking for ice because the room felt so hot in there. I don't know why, but the hospitals are always like so cold, like freezing cold, and this time they were like really it was pretty hot in there, I'm not even gonna lie. And as you guys saw in my, what I packed in my hospital bag, I did pack a fan to like put on the bed, but like everything just happened so fast that like there was no time for none of that, like nothing, you guys. So yeah, I end up asking for ice, and like I have my husband like feeding me ice, so like the cold can like help me or like concentrate, or I just needed something cold. But basically I just needed to like focus on pushing down there and not like, you know, like try to push and like go like this or something like that, because these muscles aren't doing anything to the muscles down there. Something like that is what they were saying. But anyways, so I guess I started pushing wrong, so it's not helping her come out, because if I would have pushed like correctly, just using all my power down there, she would have came out maybe like 15 minutes instead of 30. But anyways, I guess I then start pushing correctly, and like when I'm pushing really good, like they just all, like all the nurses just start like cheering, like yes, like that, like just keep pushing. So that made me feel good, so I just continued doing that, or doing it that way. And then in the last 15 minutes, my husband says, I don't feel good, I feel dizzy. And I look over at him, and he is so pale, you guys. He is pale like a damn ghost, and he is sweating, he's dripping, and I'm just like, what the fuck, like in my head. But then this might sound mean, but like I try not to focus on him, because like I'm over here like, you know, like in my own little world, trying to like push baby girl out. And as soon as he says that, like 3 nurses like run to him, and like one grabs a chair, and like they help him sit down. And I don't know, maybe like his blood pressure went down, but basically he, oh, because before he said that, I started feeling like very like lightheaded, and I don't know, like I was just like feeling some type of way. And since I am asthmatic, just in case of an emergency, I wanted to have like some oxygen to like calm me down and like help me breathe. So I end up saying like to the nurse on my side, which is the nurse that like really like pissed me the fuck off, I tell her like, can you guys have some oxygen ready, because I'm not feeling good, and I think it's my asthma like acting up. or it might act up soon, so just have it ready. And she looks at me, she's like, oh, you have asthma? Like, really surprised. And that bothered my husband because I had been going to like so many appointments because of my asthma, because I don't know if you consider, I don't know if you would consider me like a high risk pregnancy. um I was never taught to like, oh, like you're high risk, your pregnancy's high risk, you know. But just to be on the safe side, that's what me and my husband would refer it to, like me being high risk, just because I have asthma, because I got really bad anemia in my pregnancy, and because I have anxiety. So the fact that the nurse reacted like that, like so surprised, instead of saying like, yeah, like we'll get her ready. Of course I know like I can't just ask for like a random drug and they're gonna be like, yeah, like they need to like look at my history, you know. Which they didn't, because once again everything just happened so fast that they weren't able to like look at my history or ask me like, are you allergic to any medications, like, you know, like all those things that they ask you. So that got my husband upset, because like he was like worried for me. And just in general, it's like, are you kidding me? Like, you couldn't, like, there's five, six nurses in here, because more kept coming in eventually. I don't know why, but more kept coming in eventually, and like no one took the time to like look at my history. Which, now that I think about it, that's kind of like, I get now why my husband got upset, you know, because literally, like, I remember that there was just two nurses right there in the back, just chilling, just watching the whole thing. And it's like, are you just like watching what's going on? Like, why can't you like help out, or someone look at my history, you know? So yeah, that was that. They ended up bringing him like juice to like bring his color back, because like I said, he looked like a damn ghost. And like 5 minutes later, he ended up like standing up again, because I guess he felt better. And like 5 minutes later, baby girl came out. Once her head was like right there, my midwife asked me if I wanted to like touch her head, and I did. So I reached down and like I just touched there, and like I felt her head and all the hair that she had. And yeah, like I just kept pushing. After I touched her head, the next push was when she came out, because I remember that they were like, okay, yeah, like, okay, like let's push. And I remember pushing, and I remember like I just couldn't like hold my breath anymore, because you're supposed to hold your breath as you push, and then you release after a couple seconds, or like once it counted 10 or something. But they had counted to 10, and they were like, keep pushing, like she's gonna come out. And I just kept pushing like so strong with all my damn heart and soul, you guys. And she came out at 10:58 a.m. And yeah, now she's here. She's all sleeping. But yeah, she was born, and once she came out, I felt so relieved. Like, the pain just went away, the contractions, obviously, but it was just the most relieving moment. The second that she came out, like I literally felt her entire body come out. With Mateo, I was just so numb from the epidural that I didn't feel him come out as much as this time, with literally feeling everything. Yeah, you guys, in total my labor and delivery was 2 hours and 15 minutes. Let's just say 3 hours, 2 minutes less. But yeah, that's still crazy to me. With Mateo, I was in labor for 16 hours. Like in total, my labor and delivery was 16 hours. So from that to 3 hours is crazy to me. I'm just glad everything came out good, that I'm healthy, that baby girl's healthy. And even after I had her, like minutes later, or maybe like an hour later, yeah, an hour later, because we were in that room for like 2 hours. I called my mom and she was even shook. She's like, what do you mean, like you just got to the hospital like an hour ago? And I'm like, I know. So yeah, she was shook that the baby was born already super quick. But I think that's pretty much it for my labor and delivery, you guys. It skipped a part. So since I was in so much pain, like once I started pushing, like laying back those last 15 minutes, I remember that like my midwife was like, if you want, you can still get the epidural. And I was like, what do you mean? I thought it was too late. Like, and even like you always hear this, like once you hit certain centimeters of dilation, like you can't get it anymore, you know? So I was like so confused. I was like, what do you mean? Like I thought you couldn't get it anymore because like I'm like fully dilated. And then she's all like, the only thing is that it's not gonna go into effect, or like it's not gonna start working until after you have the baby. So like the pain after is just gonna feel numb because of the epidural. The epidural's gonna kick in after she comes out. So then in my head I'm like, what's the point, you know? But then she's like, but you never know, sometimes it could like go into effect right away, and maybe that will help you like push her out faster. So I remember just looking at my husband. I was like, what do you think? And then he just said like, it's up to you. Like if you think it's gonna help you with the pain, then get it. If not, like it was up to me, honestly, right? But like I just wanted his opinion. So I was just there like still pushing and in pain and everything, and thinking like, oh my gosh, I got the epidural. But then they did tell me like, but you are gonna have to stay still for the epidural, or else they're gonna do it wrong and they're gonna have to keep doing it, you know? And in my head, when they said that, I was like, fuck, like I can't, like I couldn't even stay still on the bed, you guys, like of how bad the pain was. So in my head I'm like, oh my god, like I'm really gonna have to like stay still, like super damn still, because I don't want them to like fuck up and like have to do it over and over, or like just end up hurting my spine, you know? And I ended up just saying, okay, yes, he'll get it. And tell me why the people, I don't know what you call it, that do the epidural, once they walk into the room, baby girl, like I'm literally in the middle of pushing, like that last push, baby girl comes out, and I just hear one of the nurses in the back like, she doesn't need it, she's coming out. Like they tell that to the guy that came in to do my epidural. So honestly, I think everything just worked how God wanted it to work. And not getting an epidural was like meant to be. Like now that I'm like thinking about it, yeah, hopefully I didn't confuse you guys right there. But before my last push, like after my husband almost passed out, is like when he went back to my side, is when they were telling about the epidural, and then that's when I did like my last push and she came out. So yeah, hopefully I didn't confuse you guys there. But yeah, now I think that's my full labor and delivery story time. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and listening to my story time of my labor and delivery to this beautiful baby girl. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.